Good morning, dear hearts. And here we are again at review time, review number 5, a whole hand we have. And please subscribe if you have not yet done so. We have a lovely introduction to our review lessons. We have a central thought again that will guide our review. The thought, I mentioned it yesterday, God is but love, and therefore so am I. And that is how we will practice all of the review lessons this time around. The introduction is telling us that in truth, we know that we have not committed as much as we could have, where there's still a little unwavering, there's still some doubt, but we are approaching a time when we will have greater certainty of our practicing. And our elder brother is the one who is dictating this to us and telling us that he is there. He's there for us. He's there to guide us. So the review begins, the introduction begins. We now review again. This time we are ready to give more effort and more time to what we undertake. We recognize we are preparing for another phase of understanding. We would take this step completely that we may go on again more certain, more sincere with faith, and more surely. Our footsteps have not been unwavering, and doubts have made us walk uncertainly and slowly on the road this course sets forth. It's kind of saying you probably haven't been doing the practicing as much as we have requested, has been suggested. And you know what? That's probably true for most of us. But now we hasten on, for we approach a greater certainty, a firmer purpose, and a surer goal. And then we have these two beautiful paragraphs. They're written as they are prayer. And they really help to clarify, and they really help to motivate us. Steady our feet, our Father, let our doubts be quiet and our holy minds be still and speak to us. We have no words to give you. We would but listen to your word and make it ours. Lead our practicing as does a little father, as does a father. Lead a little child along the way as he does not understand. It's just that vision, that image I see in my head of the father reaching down and the child reaching up his arm, his hand, to clasp the father's hand in his, knowing that he will definitely follow and that he is safe now because his father is with him. Yet does that little child follow, sure that he is safe because his father leads the way for him. So do we begin our practicing to you. And if we stumble, you will raise us up. If we forget the way, we count upon your sure remembering. We wander off, but you will not forget to call us back. Quicken our footsteps now, that we may walk more certainly and quickly unto you. And we accept the word you offer us to unify our practicing as we review the thoughts that you have given us. Quicken our footsteps. This could refer to really us walking along the path, and some have said that it just is about, being more diligent with our practicing. And either one, I think, will work. How does it feel to you? That's where I'm always going to go. How does it feel to you? This is the thought that will precede the thoughts that we review. Each lesson will be preceded with this idea, and each lesson will be clarified in some aspect of it by this thought, or help it to be more meaningful, more personal and true, and more descriptive of the holy self. And that is with a big S that we share and now prepare to know again, because we have forgotten who we are. God is but love, and therefore so am I. This self, this true self alone knows love. Our little self, our ego self, knows nothing about love. This self alone is perfectly consistent in its thoughts, knows its creator, and understands itself, is perfect in its knowledge and its love, and never changes from its constant state of union with its Father and itself. This true self, knows all of this. It understands, and it is in constant union, and knows that it is in constant union with its Father. And it is this that waits to meet us at the journey's ending. every step we take brings us a little closer, a little nearer. This review will shorten time immeasurably. Remember, this will collapse time. Time is only the illusion. We are practicing so that those illusions become less and less and have less and less of a hold upon us. If we keep this in mind, and this remains our goal, and as we practice, it is this to which we are approaching. Let us raise our hearts from dust to life, from ego, from the false, from the illusion, to life, to what is real, as we remember this is promised us, and that this course was sent to open up the path of light to us and teach us step by step how to return to the eternal self we thought we lost, when we thought we were apart from God, when we had that tiny mad idea and we thought that we were no longer a part of God. This course is returning us to the truth of who we are. I take this journey with you. This is our elder brother now, the Christ, speaking to us. For I share your doubts and fears a little while, that you may come to me to recognize the road by which all fears and doubts are overcome. All of those fears, all those doubts will be lifted away from us. We walk together. I must understand uncertainty and pain, although I know they have no meaning. Yet a Savior must remain with those he teaches, seeing what they see, but still retaining in his mind the way that led him out and now will lead you out with him. God's Son is crucified until you walk along the road with me. But this idea that the Savior must remain, because our Savior, our teacher, our guide must be empathetic, must not say, just forget about it, snap out of it. That would not be helpful to us. We need someone who says, yes, I understand where you are. I was once there, but you do not have to stay there because I did not stay there. So take my hand and let me lead you away from those uncertain doubts and fears. God's Son is crucified until you walk the road with me. My resurrection comes again. Each time I lead a brother safely to the place at which the journey ends and is for God. The rebirth happens to each and every one of us as we lead one to the other, because this is our job also. This is our function. We are messengers. We are ministers. I am renewed each time a brother learns there is a way from misery and pain. I'm reborn each time a brother's mind turns to the light in him and looks for me. I have forgotten no one. You might remember in lesson 160, there was the line, not one does Christ forget. Not one. Everyone comes. Help me now to lead you back to where the journey was begun, to make another choice with me. And it's just lovely images here. Release me as you practice once again the thoughts I brought to you with him who sees your bitter need and knows the answer that God has given him. Release me. Every time we practice, every time we open up our mind to these possibilities, to these truths, we are letting our brother out of prison. We are releasing him from the prison of the small ego mind that we have placed him in. Together we review these thoughts. Together we devote our time and effort to them. And together we will teach them to our brothers. God would not have heaven incomplete. Everyone gets to come home. In chapter 9, it tells us you are altogether irreplaceable in the mind of God. This is where we are going. And no one else can fill your part in it while you leave your part of it empty. Your eternal place merely waits for your return. We are coming back home to the mind of God, all of us together. God would not have heaven incomplete. It waits for you as I do. I'm incomplete without your part in me. And as I am made whole, we go together to our ancient home, long before time began, prepared long before the illusion began, prepared for us before time was and kept unchanged by time, immaculate and safe as it will be at last when time is over, when we all are home and there is no longer a need for or thought even of time. Let this review be then your gift to me. For this alone I need you, that you will hear the words I speak and give them to the world, ministers, messengers. You are my voice, my eyes, my feet, my hands, through which I save the world. We are needed to bring this message, to extend this message to others. The self from which I call to you is but your own. And that's a big S self. That self is one with us. To him we go together. Take your brother's hand, for this is not a way that we walk alone. In him I walk with you, and you with me. We are all together. Our Father wills his Son be one with him. What lives, but what must not then be one with you. Everything that lives is one with us, all together, because we are all thoughts from the mind of God. Let this review become a time in which we share a new experience for you, yet one as old as time and older still. Hallowed your name, your glory undefiled forever, the truth of who we are, and your wholeness now complete as God established it from that moment of our creation. You and his Son completing his extension in your own. We practice but an ancient truth we knew before illusions seemed to claim the world, before that tiny mad idea, before all illusions were were thought and made this world. I don't want to use the word create, even though it seems to want to come out. This world was not created, it was most certainly made. And we remind the world that it is free of all illusions every time we say, God is but love, and therefore so am I. And this is how we start each day of our review. As we wake up with this, we start and end each period of practice time, because this is the central thought for each of our practicing. And with this thought, we sleep to waken once again with these same words upon our lips to greet another day. No thought that we review, but we surround with it. We surround every review lesson with this and use the thoughts to hold it up before our minds and keep it clear in our remembrance throughout the day. And thus, when we have finished this review, we will have recognized the words we speak are true. So it's not specifically telling us, but again, it is that we practice in the morning, we practice in the evening, and all throughout the day, we will remind ourselves that God is but love, and therefore so am I. Yet are the words but aids to be used, except at the beginning and the end of practice periods, and to recall the mind as needed to its purpose. So now what it's telling us, these last few sentences, is that put the faith in the experience of it, that remember, words are tools. We're using them, but we want to go beyond that. We use the words and try again to go beyond them to their meaning, which is far beyond their sound. The sound grows dim and disappears as we approach the source of meaning. It is here that we find rest. We go beyond the words into the experience of the words, of knowing that God is but love, and therefore so am I. So our lessons, our two lessons that we are reviewing today, it's lesson 171. We're reviewing lessons 151 and 152. God is but love, and therefore so am I. All things are echoes of the voice for God. God is but love, therefore so am I. The power of decision is my own. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Everything echoes the voice for God, because everything was created by God. So God's voice is within each and everything that I look upon. When I see it truly, when I see it with Christ's vision, when I see it and have the acknowledgement of the light that is within it, then truly all things are going to be echoes for the voice for God. And indeed, God is but love, and therefore so am I. The second lesson, a personal favorite, the power of decision is my own. I can decide. I can decide if I am love. I can decide and claim that God is but love, and therefore so am I. That is up to me to decide. I'm being told that it's true. I get to decide that. I get to be in alignment with that idea. And that is within me to make that decision. I will make that decision today and be in total agreement that indeed God is but love, and therefore so am I, and you, and everyone. And that's it for today. So please like, please share, please subscribe. As always, the first video as we go into a review is a longer one. The next ones will probably be much shorter, but go back and reread the introduction to the review. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. So please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment, please smile. 5, we made it to 5. Take in a deep breath, release everything, all those cobwebs, anything that is not upholding the idea that God is but love and therefore so are you. Namaste.